I'm Milton Marquis, and I have the honor of serving as the current chair of our Societies of Benchers. And it's my job not to talk too long, to get closer to the microphone. I'm a little tall, sorry about that. It's my job to serve as the MC, again, not to talk too long, and to welcome you all to our 59th annual meeting. It's wonderful to be able to gather together again. It's always great after 2 years of a pandemic to gather with anyone. So we've all been working in our sweatpants, and I'm speaking for myself only here, for the last couple of years. I graduated from the law school in 1984, and as a 20-something-year-old person in 1981, coming from South Georgia, not far from Florida. They told me that X number of years later that I would be the chair of the Society of Benchers. I would have said, what, who, me? And I'm sure I see some of my professors here, I'm sure that they agree that I was surprised to be here. And 1981, I spent my first winter in Cleveland, coming from South Georgia, and it was quite an experience. So lesson number one, buy a heavy coat and layers. So those are the two things that I learned from being in Cleveland. So we appreciate you being here today to celebrate this fantastic law school and its distinguished alumni and friends. Unfortunately, we have lost some of our distinguished members and cherished friends since we last met. So if you would please join me in a moment of silence to remember them. Thank you. Our program today includes a superior slate of exemplary members of our legal community, those at the highest levels in both the practicing and academic side of the law. For now, please wait for your table to be called for brunch and enjoy before we begin our program. Thank you so much. So I hope that everyone is enjoying your brunch and each other's company. We will continue even though folks are still in the line. It is my honor to present the law school's co-deans, Jessica Berg and Michael Scharf. I will just say a few words about them, even though it's not on script. These two are the right leaders at the right time for this law school. I've had the pleasure of knowing them for more than 10 years now, and as I have the honor of serving as a trustee of the university, where I get to see them in action, and I just know that the leadership of the university is extremely impressed and grateful for your service to this law school. So without any further ado, I will ask them to come up and give a few words.
All right, hello everybody. Oh, let's see. I've got that radio thing going. So first of all, how many of you stayed up last night and watched 15 innings of the Cleveland Guardians, right? That was amazing. And to think that a rookie whose theme song is SpongeBob won it all for Cleveland, I mean, that says it all, right? Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us as we celebrate our 59th annual Society of Benchers induction ceremony. Dean Berg and I are so pleased to have you all here. And this is just every year such a wonderful occasion. This is the second time we've done it as a brunch here. The food is fantastic. Don't rush yourself in line. We want you to enjoy it. It's great. So please enjoy your meals as we continue through the program. We're going to begin our awards presentation in just a few minutes. But first, Jessica and I would like to share some exciting news from the law school. So we're going to do this the co-deaning way, which is a back and forth. Let's start with Jessica.
All right, good morning and welcome. So having served now as co-deans for 9 years, we are among the longest serving law deans in the country. It has worked so well here, the university just appointed co-deans for the Weatherhead School of Business next door. We've emerged from the COVID times as a stronger law school.
So one of the ways that our strength has been shown is in our annual fund, and you all do so much to support the school in that way. This year we had $1.1 million, and we had a total of $9 million in attainment for the year. So that brings our total fundraising since 2013 to $61 million. And with that, we've grown our endowment to $127 million. It's now the 32nd largest law school endowment in all of this country. Now, this money doesn't just sit there and collect interest. It has enabled us to recruit and retain star faculty and enroll students with stronger and stronger credentials. Can I ask our faculty to stand up for a second who are here today? Just stand up. You guys are stars. And our students, we do have a couple students out there too. Will you stand up too? So thank you guys.
Our entering JD class this fall has 156 students. Their median LSAT was a 160 and median GPA was a 3.68. These are among the highest in our school's history. It is also the most diverse class in our history, with 23% coming from underrepresented minority populations. This was aided in part by our new summer Jumpstart program, which had 35 students.
Thank you. And as a law school, our job is to get our students employed in the legal profession. So we're excited to say that our employment numbers are also the highest that they've been in many years at 94%. We've also had it's worth clapping for. We've had the top bar pass rate in the state of Ohio 3 of the last 5 years, and we're crossing our fingers that this will be another banner year as the results trickle in later in the month. And Jessica just told me yesterday that we got the results from Pennsylvania where we were 7 for 7, 100%.
So we've garnered a variety of national accolades. Pre-Law Magazine ranks us 5 in practical training and a top school with a grade A in 12 specialty programs. U.S. News & World Report ranks us number 13 in health law, 21 in international law, and 36 in intellectual property law. The CISC study ranks us 36th in faculty scholarly impact. That one was a tongue twister. And our moot court and mock trial teams had such a great year, they were ranked number 4 in the country in overall success.
And as Jessica said, we're really well known now for our experiential education. So our students in our clinics have won a series of high-profile cases, and our students and professors have submitted amicus briefs in the U.S. Supreme Court and the Appeals Chamber of the International Criminal Court in The Hague. I even got to argue there in The Hague in February. I was the first American to make an appellate amicus argument before that court.
So our alums have also had extraordinary success this year. Among the highlights from this amazing group is Fred Gray, who was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Justin Bibb, who was elected mayor of Cleveland, and Charles Fleming and Bridget Brennan, who were appointed the country's newest federal judges.
Under the leadership of alumni Mark Weinberger and John Majoris, both of which are members of the Benchers, we are now launching a $20 million scholarship drive to raise transformational funding for the law school. This is going to be the most ambitious scholarship fundraising initiative in the law school's history. And we hope as part of our alumni and leaders that you'll help us with this effort that is going to propel the school to ever new heights.
All right, it is now time to introduce this year's inductees to the Society of Benchers. Each year, the Society inducts new members chosen on the basis of extraordinary dedication to the highest principles of the legal profession and commitment to the community. The Society also admits distinguished members of the Case Western Reserve University law faculty and attorneys and judges who are not graduates of the law school, but who have taken a strong and proactive interest in the furtherance of the legal profession, legal education, and the community, as well as a particular interest and affection for our law school. To help us celebrate our inductees, I'd like to introduce our MC, Mike Benza. Mike joined the faculty in 1998 as an adjunct and full-time in 2005. He is an alum from the class of 1992 and also graduated from Case Western Reserve as an undergrad. He teaches criminal law and criminal procedure. He's an expert on death penalty issues and has been quoted numerous times by local and national media. He continues to represent death row inmates and litigate capital cases in state and federal courts and federal habeas proceedings, and has also argued before the Supreme Court of the United States. In his 12 years on the faculty, Professor Benza has won the Student Bar Association's Professor of the Year Award 7 times. Mike's first order of business will be to announce the Student Award winner from 2022. While the Society of Benchers Award has been given to a graduating student for many years, thanks to your generous and continued support, we were able to endow the award and provide an annual prize recently. Thank you. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Mike Benza.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Michael and Jessica, for the kind introductions. I hearken back to an old war story that I heard about a great trial lawyer, Tom Shaughnessy. One day in court, there was an objection made as to whether or not he was providing the effective assistance of counsel commanded by the Sixth Amendment. And Tom stood up and said, "Your Honor, if I don't blow a .10, my client isn't getting effective representation. Unfortunately, I only got about a quarter of my mimosa into me, so you're stuck with me as I am." So for the first portion of this morning's business, it is my pleasure to recognize the Society of Benchers Award winner. Started in 1973, the award is founded on the principles, and you notice they left this part for me, not for the deans, of cum studius tum moribus principes, leaders in both studies and way of life. It is presented to a member of each graduating class who has achieved academic distinction and set an example in honor and dignity for others to follow. I am pleased to announce that the award winner from 2022 is with us today. The award winner is Callan Foran, class of 22. Callan, please come forward. Callan graduated summa cum laude from the Case Western Reserve University School of Law in 2022. During her time in law school, she served as president of the International Law Society, president of the Women's Law Association, and executive online editor of Case Western Law Review. And of course, first and foremost, she was my teaching assistant. Applying to the International Moot Court Program in her first year, Callan served as a 3-year member and captain of the VIS International Arbitration Moot Court team, receiving an honorable mention for Best Oralist at the team's international competition in 2021, and leading the team to the prestigious elimination rounds for the first time in team history. In addition to working in the service industry throughout law school, Callan externed for Judge Kathleen O'Malley at the Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, summered at Jones Day in Cleveland, and completed a capstone at the M&A department of Eaton Corporation. She currently serves as a judicial law clerk for Vice Chancellor Paul A. Fioravante of the Delaware Court of Chancery, and she has lots of Elon Musk stories to tell. Following her clerkship, Callan plans to pursue a career in mergers and acquisitions with a focus on public company transactions. Congratulations, Callan.
First and foremost, thank you all so much. It means so much to me to be able to get this award, and that has helped me so much in moving over to Delaware and getting set up there, so I really appreciate it. The other thing that has meant a lot to me throughout law school is getting mentorship from people in this room, people not in this room, professors, alumni, and just members of the Cleveland legal community. So I encourage you all to continue doing that. I don't think people understand how much impact that advice has on young law students, and for me personally has had just a tremendous, tremendous impact. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate it.
Go down and get your pictures with the deans. Congratulations again, Callan. We will now begin honoring our inductees for the 2022 class of the Society of Benchers. Since 1962, we have been selecting law alumni, faculty, and public members who have especially distinguished themselves in their professions and communities, and thereby brought honor to the law school. Our members have been models of scholarship, leadership, and dignity, and we congratulate you all on your service to your communities. We will first recognize the inductees who were unable to attend today. First, we congratulate Mayor Justin Bibb, class of 18. Justin Bibb is the 58th mayor of the city of Cleveland, working to improve public safety, invest in neighborhoods, and modernize City Hall. On January 3rd, 2022, Mayor Bibb took the oath of office as the city's first millennial mayor. Mayor Bibb's vision for Cleveland is to become a national model for city management, police reform, and neighborhood revitalization. We are pleased to recognize Mayor Bibb today as an inductee into the Society of Benchers. Unfortunately, Mayor Bibb was unable to join us. Please join me in congratulating him as we watch his remarks on the screen.
Hey everyone, I'm Justin Bibb, proud graduate of the Case Law School class of 2018, and I also serve as the mayor of the great city of Cleveland, Ohio. I'm so sorry I couldn't be with you for the Society of Benchers induction ceremony today, but I'm just thrilled to have been selected for this year's Law School's Alumni Hall of Fame and honored to have been the law school's commencement speaker last May. I'm very proud of our law school and grateful for all that it's done and continues to do to advance justice and equity all across our city. Take care. God bless. Hope to see you soon.
So next, we congratulate Joseph M. Sellers, class of 79. Joe is a partner at Cohen Milstein, co-chair of the firm's Civil Rights and Employment Practice Group, a practice he founded, and the former chair of the firm's executive committee. In a career spanning nearly 4 decades, Mr. Sellers has represented victims of discrimination and other illegal employment practices individually and through class actions. He brings to his practice a deep commitment and broad background in fighting discrimination in all of its forms. Mr. Sellers currently represents 10 members of Congress in a suit against former President Trump and the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers for harm caused by their roles in the January 6, 2022 incidents. We are pleased to recognize Joe Sellers today as an inductee into the Society of Benchers. As we honor those who are with us here today, inductees, please proceed to the dais to have your photos taken with the deans and to receive your awards. Our first inductee is Nancy Canary. Nancy is a 1963 Flora Stone Mather College alumna with a BA in psychology and her JD from Cleveland Marshall School of Law at Cleveland State University. In 1979, Mrs. Canary established the Sumner Canary Memorial Lectureship Program at CWRU Law School to honor the work and memory of her late husband, Judge Sumner Canary. The lectureship program has featured numerous federal judges, scholars, academics, and 6 sitting or future United States Supreme Court justices. Nancy, thank you and congratulations. Our next inductee is David J. Elk, class of '64. David is the senior partner at Elk and Elk Law Firm in Cleveland, Ohio. For those of you who watch the Indians-Guardians games, his face is very familiar to us. David, along with his brother Art, built geographically one of the largest injury practices in Ohio. As an Ohio personal injury lawyer, he has represented thousands of medical malpractice, wrongful death, and injury victims throughout the state for over 57 years. He has devoted his entire professional life to helping injured people receive the compensation they deserve. David believes that quality legal representation allows all people the level playing field against the big insurance companies. Congratulations, David. Our next inductee is our faculty member inductee, Jonathan Gordon. Jonathan is a professor of lawyering skills and the director of the law school's SJD program. Jonathan has taught legal analysis and writing to thousands of JD and international LLM students, including most recently to Chinese students at Southwest University of Politics and Law in Chongqing, China, where we constantly tried to get him to try interesting, innovative, and exotic foods to no avail. Last year, the Law Alumni Association selected Jonathan as the recipient of the 2021 Distinguished Teacher Award, which recognizes a member of the faculty whose commitment to the education of the and pursuit of knowledge has enriched the personal and professional lives of students. Congratulations, Jonathan. Up next is Mark Griffin, class of '94. He was a lowly 1L my third year, so I vaguely remember him. Mark is the law director and chief legal counsel to the city of Cleveland. As law director, he provides legal advice to Mayor Bibb and to Cleveland City Council. His office of 80 lawyers prosecutes the crimes, defends the city in civil litigation, drafts contracts, represents Cleveland Hopkins Airport, advises Cleveland Public Power, and helps oversee local tax collection. He is a jack of all trades. Congratulations, Mark. Our next inductee is Marie Grossman, class of '71. In 1968, Marie was one of 6 female students enrolled in CWRU's first-year law class. Marie's career includes working at Jones Day Law Firm, Cleveland Trust Bank, and Preferred Healthcare. On December 11, 1987, Marie's life was irrevocably altered when she was victim by a random point-blank shooting during an attempted carjacking. She has been resilient through the face of incredible adversity. The Edge of Malice, the Marie Grossman story, is a book that chronicles Marie's struggles and perseverance. Congratulations, Marie. So the deans are going to go back to Marie to present her with her certificate. This is a good time. Anybody wants to hit the bar, go ahead. I'll take I got my Bloody Mary sitting over there. Our next inductee is Kimya Johnson, 2002. Kimya leads Jackson Lewis's diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts as the firm's chief diversity, equity, and inclusion officer in the Philadelphia office. leading a team of fully dedicated DEI professionals and collaborating with leadership, key stakeholders, multiple departments and communities across Jackson Lewis's 63 offices. Kimya works to ensure DEI's core pillars of focus, culture, colleagues, clients, and communities translate. Congratulations, Kimya. Our next inductee is Arjun Kampani, class of '93. Arjun is the Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Corporate Secretary of Rocket Lab USA, Inc. He leads Rocket Lab's legal and regulatory affairs and guides the company on all legal, governance, ethics, and compliance matters. Arjun has over 2 decades of experience advising and leading public and private businesses, including more than 18 years of experience in the aerospace industry. Prior to joining Rocket Lab, Mr. Kampani worked at Aerojet Rocketdyne, where he served as Senior Vice President, General Counsel, and Secretary. Congratulations, Arjun. Our next inductee is Judge William McConico, 99. Judge McConico is the Chief Judge of Michigan's 36th District Court, the busiest court in Michigan, and the 5th busiest court in America. Take that, Cuyahoga County. Judge McConico was appointed to the 36th District Court by Governor Jennifer M. Granholm on July 12, 2010. He was then appointed to the position of Chief Judge by the Michigan Supreme Court on January 1, 2020. He is the 9th Chief Judge to serve since the creation of the court by the Michigan Legislature in 1985. Congratulations, Judge. Our next inductee is John Pendergrass, class of '79. John is Vice President of Programs and Publications at the Environmental Law Institute in Washington, D.C. You know, we have an environmental law center here. It might be right up your alley. He leads the Research and Policy Division, which conducts legal and policy research and analysis of pressing environmental and natural resource issues in the U.S. and globally. He also leads the Institute's educational programs, numbering more than 100 each year, and the Institute's publication division, which produces the Environmental Law Reporter, the Environmental Forum, and numerous books. John established ELI's judicial education program to educate judges throughout the world about environmental law. Congratulations, John. Next up, Ronald J. Rakowsky, class of '69. An attorney by trade, Ron has a remarkable record of public service. He served 24 years in the United States Air Force. Ron was staff judge advocate for the Air Reserve Personnel Center at the time of his 1994 retirement. His command included almost 900 reserve attorneys and paralegals. Previously, Ron worked at the Pentagon, where he provided significant input concerning the development of the Department of Defense's policy on AIDS and drug testing for THC. In 2003, Ron was elected mayor of Greenwood Village, Colorado, serving from 2011 to 2019. Congratulations, Ron. So that concludes the inductee portion of today's program. Thank you to those who took the time to submit your nominations, and congratulations to all of our numerous members. Before we adjourn today, we must take a moment to recognize this past year's officers of the Society of Benchers, all of whom were very involved throughout the year in the planning of this event. Our outgoing vice chair, current chair of the Society of Benchers, and tonight's host is Milton Marquis, class of 1984. He is partner and shareholder at Cozen O'Connor and a Case Western Reserve University trustee. Milton was inducted into the Society of Benchers in 2016. Milton, thank you all that you have done. Our outgoing treasurer and current vice chair is Colleen Batchelor, class of 1998. She was inducted into the Society of Benchers in 2014 and is the executive vice president, general counsel, and secretary of Hertz. Colleen, thank you for all that you have done. Our incoming treasurer is Rita Mainberg, class of 1981. Rita was inducted into the Society of Benchers in 2013 and is a partner at Tucker Ellis LLP. Rita has graciously served on many law school communities throughout her years and look forward to her service as a Society of Benchers officer. Thank you, Rita.
Well, thank you, Mike. You did a great job. I think we can all see why he's won so many Teachers of the Year awards. I think we ought to have a motion. You should be disqualified from running any. So finally, the day would not be complete without recognizing our outgoing chair, Catherine Hatton, class of 1980. Catherine was inducted into the Society in 2001. Before her retirement, she served as Vice President, General Counsel, and Secretary of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. This is quite an achievement. She's a highly acclaimed leader in her profession and her volunteer efforts. Unfortunately, Catherine couldn't be with us today, but we are grateful for her leadership and her support as a Benchers officer. So I'm the only thing separating you from Michael's mimosa. So we certainly cannot end this program without also thanking Mike for his great work on the induction and role as Secretary of the Society of Benchers. He accepted this role after Professor Lou Katz and Leon Gabinet retired. And I took some applause from Professor Katz. I thought I saw him. So if you can just wave and, oh, he's in, why, who put him in the back? Come on. A fantastic professor for this law school. I'm going to admit something I've admitted in 30-something years. I was afraid of him when I was here. Then after I graduated, I found out he's a pretty nice person. But all right, okay, I'm going to hear it. Okay, so Mike is integral to the strong foundation of faculty excellence at the law school, as you've heard, and we very much appreciate his knowledge and his expertise in his role as secretary. He thankfully will continue in this role moving forward. I think we drafted him, so I don't know if we actually got him to say okay. So as we adjourn this afternoon, I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us. As I look around the room, I am certainly proud and humbled to be in the presence of such distinguished leadership and impressed with the level of talent, expertise, and commitment that you all have brought to our profession. As you've heard today, our law school is poised to make a lasting impact on the next generation of leaders, some of whom will join us as esteemed members of the Society of Benchers in the years to come. So I hope you will join me in engaging with, and I'm going to emphasize what I'm about to say, giving back to our law school to support this outstanding and ongoing effort. And I couldn't be more proud and more optimistic about the direction of this law school. But, and I know the deans would say it, but I'm going to be very direct, we need your support in order to continue to attract the outstanding faculty, and we have one of the top faculties. I think the dean said that we're in the top 30 or so in terms of faculty excellence as judged not by what we say, but what the outside world recognizes. And to attract students that reflect the diversity of this country and of this world. So we need your financial support. How did I do, Deans? Is that good? All right. So I look forward to seeing you all at next year's event, and I want to wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming.